Mike, you got some fantasy action here, and does the Blake Griffin trade to the Pistons shake up some fantasy? Is that making any reverberations in fantasy land?
I don't think it will. I think personally his game, the way his game is this year, matches up ideally with the Pistons game. So I think that's going to be his number. If you like Blake Griffin before, you're going to like him going forward here. For this week, as I decided to look at the center position for our daily fantasy thing, and I'm looking at some centers.
Mike, that's a reality.
Here we go. Actually,
go.
you can slide that cheese all the way down there to the big fella. You can leave them wings right there.
There you go.
Because I'm Chusky, and I'm going to eat. Fat Boy does a 10-piece. Rick Ross, Chusky Boy 8-piece right here.
Always pause for food. But as I was saying, I was looking at the center position.
Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond look good together.
I think they look very good. And Drummond's another guy who's a big pick in daily fantasy. The problem is he's really an expensive pick on your budget. So there's some guys that go lower in the budget that you might be interested in. One of the guys, Hassan Whiteside, he's a little bit less. I'm not a big fan because
of. Is he from Gastonia?
He is. I'm not a big fan.
House.
Not a big fan of him because of the price tag, but he's got some decent numbers overall. And they played the Magic on Monday. He's averaging 14 and 14 against the Magic this year. So on Monday you might want to look into him. Al Horford's another center that could provide some value. On Friday, the Celtics play the Hawks, who have the worst defense in the league, and that's his former team, so he might be up for that. He gives you a lot of assists, too. Al Horford, 5 assists a game, only one of 3
But you don't hate
centers.
Whiteside just because he's from Gastonia, though.
No.
Let's make that clear. Okay.
I wouldn't. Clint Capella, here's a good story. Clint Capella has the same numbers across the board as Hassan Whiteside, but on your daily fantasy budget, he's $2,000 less. So he's somebody to think about going forward. Some other options for value: Enes Kanter of the Knicks. He had a 20-20 game a couple games ago. Pau Gasol of the Spurs. He's 37 years old, but he's still giving you 14
Solid.
and 10 and almost 4 assists a game over his last 7 games. And
Modern day Billy Paultz.
For real value, Derek Favors costs you less than $6,000 on your daily fantasy budget, but he's putting up the same type of fantasy numbers that a guy like Pau Gasol is. So there's some value at the center position if you want to think about for daily fantasy.
I can't believe you don't know Billy Paultz, the Whopper from the ABA San Antonio Spurs.
I'm not as old as you, man.
All right. Well, thanks for rubbing that in. You made that point about 10 times. One quick note here before we go to break. James Harden in NBA history, first triple-double with 60 points, breaking the Rockets single-game scoring record of 57 by Calvin Murphy, who I got to meet when I worked down in Houston. Great guy down there. Just don't hang
By the way,
around.
keep this in mind. Wilt Chamberlain, they didn't have the blocks back then. Wilt Chamberlain, I'm sure, had a 60-point triple-double back in his day.
Wilt Chamberlain's the greatest off-court scorer in the history of maybe mankind, not to mention the NBA. So, speaking of which, Tiger Woods, and he does a lot of off-the-court scoring. UFC recap. We've got that and much, much more. Can you stay one more?
No, I gotta go.
You got to go. All right. Before we go, Gardner-Webb at Radford tonight, right?
Yes.
Rhode Island at my Virginia Commonwealth Rams Friday. You're going to be in my hometown, man.
Yes,
I told you where to go.
I'm going to tell people that I know you.
Memphis and East Carolina Saturday.
Yes.
And who did you say, BC and Florida State Sunday?
On Sunday.
Okay, you're jet setting. You span the globe more than Jim McKay.
I'm going to try, man.
All right.
Trying to be like you guys, man.
All right. Well, we've got UFC, Tiger Woods, night putting, and much, much more from the Dilbert Neighborhood Grill. This is Talking About Sports.
Night putting. I wonder if we're going to do another thing.
You got that right.
Yeah.